Sorry guys, this is the part 2 of the bullshit. We were just in the middle of a live episode and these assholes flagged me for a copyright crap or whatever. I got a warning, but it wasn't quite, it wasn't a strike, so I disputed it. I said this is violating my fair use policy. So I'm gonna dispute it and see what they say. And if YouTube's like, oh, you motherfucker, blah blah blah, then I'll say fuck it. I don't care. I'm just gonna stop and then start being more choosy. I felt like if you be more creative with it and you have something like we're reviewing it, like how we were all on screen watching it, laughing. I had the audio going. There's no way that we should have got flagged for a use. But YouTube's like, that's a warning. Don't do it again or you're going to get fucking flagged. So anyway, all bullshit aside, we're going to let Jay get up in here and then we're going to debut HAZE's new video. Are you excited about your new video, man?
Yeah.
How'd you feel about it?
I really like it. I think it's tight.
Why don't you tell us about the process and everything you did?
Pretty much, you did all the footage. I edited, so it came out wonderful.
Yes, indeed. I was very proud of it. I was like, damn, dude, shit. Like, you don't need $1 million damn studio to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Like, you sat there, you took the footage, and you did what you needed to do to it, and that's how it worked.
Right.
That's awesome. I'm excited about the new video because we had some ideas and shit. Yeah, I'm gonna fight this. I'm gonna fight this stupid ass copyright claim.
Yeah, I think you should.
I should just because I have the right to. Fuck them. I'm going to.
Exactly. It's your God-given right.
I played a bomb ass song and then I knew that flew under the radar. But then these assholes. Jade, are you coming on in or what? I may have to start it without her. But yeah, I'm not gonna keep this up too much longer. Because there's stuff I want to do. It's getting late, and I got to work in the morning and everything. And it's my fault. Yeah, I did start the show a little early. I mean, late. But, Jade, wherever thou art in the world, you're just going to get left out, homie. So, we're going to go ahead and, without further ado, this is Left Out in the Rain by who? HAZE.
I want them Rex to save the day. I tell a hater get out of my way. I want that money while you playing. Give me the world
Sorry, guys.
and all the fame. Never forget from where I came. I done been through so much pain. I was left out in the rain. I was left out in the rain. I want them Rex to save the day. I tell a hater get out of my way. I want that money while you playing. Give me the world and all the fame. Never forget from where I came. I done been through so much pain. I was left out in the rain. I was left out in the rain. I want them Rex to save the day. I tell a hater get out of my way. I want that money while you playing. Give me the world and all the fame. Never forget from where I came. I done been through so much pain. I was left out in the rain. I was left out in the rain. Now they hate when I switch lanes, yeah. Now I have designer things, yeah. All the mob makes the chain, yeah. Living life, it ain't no game, yeah. Bad bitch, brain.
Yeah.
And I'm flyer than a plane, never touching down. How you like me now? Hater, how you like me now?
I knew I would make it, didn't have any doubt. The ones who doubted don't need them around. I made it official, I played my position. They know that I'm winning, no turning back now. I was the one that they try to count out. Now here I stand on top of the cloud.
I want them Rex to save the day. I tell a hater get out of my way. I want that money while you playing. Give me the world and all the fame. Never forget from where I came. I done been through so much pain. I was left out in the rain. I was left out in the rain. I want them racks in the safe today. I tell a hater, get out of my way. I want that money while you playing. Give me the world and all the fame. Never forget from where I came. I done been through so much pain. I was left out in the rain. I was left out in the rain. I want them racks in the safe today. I tell a hater, get out of my way. I want that money while you playing. Give me the world and all the fame. Never forget from where I came. I done been through so much pain. I was left out in the rain. I was left out in the rain.
Shit go hard.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you have
Go
it.
hard.
We don't need no motherfucking $100,000 fucking producer in the middle behind the bullshit to get between you and your fucking ideas, right?
Not with the real world.
No, we did this. We did this all. What's it called? Homegrown. That's fucking brilliant, man. You did good. I'm super, super proud of that. I was blown away. I was like, damn, bro. Because I know how you are about doing your own editing and stuff. You've made all your own graphics. Matter of fact, let's go over this right here. You made this.
Right.
You see that, guys? He made that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a video.
Yep.
He didn't need anybody else to get in the middle of this bullshit. He did his own shit. So all you fucking haters, kiss my ass. He's doing it. He's going up.
Haters gonna hate.
Um,
While we're here, while we got you here, what song video are we going to do next up, slated?
Sailing Away.
Sailing Away. That's what it was. Yeah. There was this really badass.
225 views on YouTube. So
Yeah. We're gonna put that one together really, really nice. I actually seen another music video. I'm not gonna tell you guys nothing. Let you figure it out. But I'm gonna steal an idea for an effect, and we're gonna put it in HAZE's video, and it's gonna be bad fucking ass. You're gonna love it.
I'm excited. I love new stuff.
It's gonna be the shit. You're gonna love it. I seen it and I was like, dude, we are doing this next fucking video. And he's like, yeah, he liked it too. So I'm excited. I'm happy. That was awesome. You did good. Is there any other songs you have coming out the woodwork?
I've got a few.
Okay. So
Do you have one that you're working on that you've put a little more effort into lately that you have as a top priority?
As far as writing, yeah, I haven't recorded it or anything. But
Yeah, that's good. Working on it.
he's got a double disc album in the works.
Hey.
A double disc. It's gonna be the third. No shit. How many CDs have we put together? We've put together a lot, right?
quite a few.
Yeah.
Quite a few.
I don't know, like, in which chronological order you could say. Do you count your old CDs as part of your whole collection, or are you wanting the HAZE collection to be your newest stuff, like the trap?
I mean, yeah, sure. I got some old stuff too, but as far as me having it personally, I don't have it. It got pretty much lost in time. So.
Oh, okay. So this is all new material. Basically, what you've accumulated in the last year or two is what you're gonna pretty much claim as your authentic new material, like first album, second album, shit like that, so on and so on.
Right.
Awesome.
Cree does need to make a comeback, but
Well, yeah, I got haggled. I got rid of my old inbox, guys. Remember? You never say you're going to quit rapping. And I never once said I'm going to quit rapping. But I did get rid of a lot of gear components. But I was window shopping online the other day. And, HAZE, I didn't get a chance to tell you. I texted you today. But I was able to finagle an inbox for cheaper. And it was like I wasn't really trying to get it. It was like the opportunity fell into my lap. So, yeah, I'm going to be firing back up the music studio.
yeah.
And I'm probably going to be – I might do a song here and there, some shit. Maybe we'll lay one down on my studio. But because I still got the programs and all that stuff. It's just I need the gear back. All I need is a fucking inbox. But, yeah, I got some open-ended stuff that's not completed yet. We can go ahead and do that if we want to. Fuck it. You only live once, right? Maybe we can debut it on YouTube. Blah blah blah.
Calabos, yes, Jake, yes.
Oh, Jake's here.
Yeah, man.
Holy shit, Jake! Damn, you've been in the chat like a motherfucker. I'm sorry, I didn't even have the comment section open on my end.
It's Jake from State Farm. Jake, what are you wearing?
He said Windows shopping. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, eBay. Now, don't laugh at me, guys. eBay has a function where if you... Now, this is what I do. Like, if I find something cool on the internet, I'll send it an instant messenger to my homie, Germ. And it's kind of like I'm saving it. I'm archiving the link for me to come back later. And he's like, motherfucker, don't use my inbox as a notepad. Which, he ain't going to do shit. Fuck him. But I put this inbox because I was comparing two different prices and I thought it over the other day. So I put this motherfucker in my inbox and I was like, well, this is, or in the cart on eBay. Would you believe these motherfuckers, like they sent, I'm sure it's an automated message. Like I'm sure eBay notified the seller and said, hey, so-and-so's looking at this item. What do you think? The guy's probably not, it's probably not flying off his shelf any faster. So he probably toggled a button function where it said, hey, make an offer. I've seen these kind of come my way before where it says make an offer, you know, and I've never done it, but I just said, fuck it. I'm not going to buy this. So I shot the price down by like $15 or more. He's still going to get his shipping, right?
Right.
Within a minute, he wrote me back, yes. I'm like, damn, what a steal of a deal. I'm literally getting this thing half off and it's brand new.
He insisted on
This
joining
has
the
to be
show.
a fucking a piece of fate coming back, right? Hey, Vinny, how you doing, bud? He has no idea, this poor guy. Man.
No, he's wanting to be up in my lap right now.
Hey, Stephanie. A lacy
Wearing a lacy necklace.
Jake, what are you fucking talking about? Did you guys happen to catch HAZE's video? We got kicked off of YouTube the first go around when I did the show, which I thought was rude. I had everything lined up really nice.
Extremely rude. Okay, Karen, thanks for shutting it down.
I want to speak to a manager. That was funny. Kudos. So anyway, we had to come back. We had to debut because they cut me off in the middle of my comedy section. Thanks. And for returning viewers, we're just doing a recap because my show got canceled. Yeah, you didn't miss anything, Jake. It was kind of... I've been out of my element for like over a week or more, so I'm trying to dispute it with YouTube. They may or may not tell me to go fuck myself, but in case they do, I don't care. It wasn't like we missed anything. I ought to, you know, to say fuck you back, I ought to play the intro opening song on the way out. But we just covered Tim's song, and we are done with it, I guess. I guess we're done with the show. Shit. Now what I am going to do is, I guess, cap this thing off here shortly. But since we got robbed, and I'm probably going to get robbed of my first copy of the show.
Maybe not. Maybe we can.
Yeah, who cares? You know how much shit's on YouTube? Like, I really don't give a fuck anymore. I try to make this thing like category wise, like really nice, you know, where you can go back and look and everything. It's just, you can't share anything on YouTube without catching some kind of a fucking ban or something, man.
Yeah, man, they're like hardcore about their copyrights and their stuff.
Like, what do you want me to do? Just fucking sit here and stare at the wall like fucking Tales from the Lotus podcast and go, yeah. Play with my dick over here on fucking damn YouTube and then fucking sit here for 4 hours and what's your favorite Joker's card? Nah. Yeah, I'm not gonna fucking drag this out no longer.
In.
Yes, let us stay.
Yeah.
I think I might, however, get a little boozed up and then like join other people's lives. I don't know. Live hopping, is that a thing?
It should be. If not, we should copyright that.
Just, I mean, shit. If they got an open link in the chat, there's nothing they can do except for let me sit backstage. So we're gonna meet some new interesting people and see what's popping out in the
I can't
world.
wait to get some guests on the show. I know there's a.
Oh my God! Yes, fuck. I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, so my musical guest I intended a couple weeks ago, I actually got a hold of them the other day. They got back to me and they said maybe this week. I don't want to say what day because I don't want to hold you all to a standard. But I'm going to fucking really push it to them and go, hey, come on, man, come on. But when I get them on, you guys are going to be blown the fuck away. I'm talking floored. You're going to love it. Jake, I think. Jake, go to the private comments. I'm on, well, you can't see that. I'll let you know who.
I'm hanging on to for sure.
Yeah, Jade. You know, Jade has this video somebody made about me. Somebody made a video about me. I thought it was really nice. Really, really nice. Hopefully that will go along with what we're going to do down the road. So, awesome shit. But,
yeah, Jimmy Maddox is kind of sexy.
Oh, you think the guy that made it is sexy? Okay.
Do what?
Thanks a lot.
Not as sexy of you, of course. You know.
Oh, you think it's sexy of me? What the fuck?
I said not as sexy as you.
This is all too much for me to like fucking compound in my brain. Jake says, "Kill, kiss, marry, Violent J, Shake It Too Dope, and Jamie Madrox." Is that a song you would like for me to play? You want me to play that, Jake? Do you like that? That's not what I had in mind, but by the way, Jake, while we're here, when are we gonna do an episode of Don't Get Me Started?
Yes.
Dude, we can fucking talk and talk and talk. That one thing we did that one night wasn't really legit official. It was us fucking...
It was a teaser.
It was getting our feet wet with the whole StreamYard thing, I guess.
We can get the fabulous Mrs. B on sometime too.
Yes, she is always welcome.
Because they've got quite the heart behind them. I can tell you what. Love those two.
I love those people. And like I said, guys, you don't have to use your cameras. You can use your avatars, and you'll still be in the middle of the action. That's how this all works. It's very magic. I love technology. Guys, talk for a second.
Well, you know, I've got this little guy who keeps pestering the crap out of me tonight. I don't know what his deal is, but he just won't leave me alone.
I bet he is pestering you.
I don't know what his deal is. He's usually not all over me. He usually lays down by himself, but tonight he's just been climbing my lap.
He looks like a Taco Bell dog, I swear.
A what? Taco Bell dog? Yo quiero Taco Bell. I think I'm going to need a bigger box.
Exactly.
Remember the Godzilla commercial with a little Taco Bell dog? I think I'm going to need a bigger box.
My stepdad's dog had a little plush one that you would squeeze, and it said, "Here, lizard, lizard, lizard."
Oh yeah.
She killed the dog. She killed the dog, but left the voice box. And so we would just randomly squeeze the
That's just
box.
demented.
Damn, this got dark very suddenly.
But
wow.
we would squeeze the box and she'd go looking for it.
Yeah.
I feel the love in the chat tonight.
Jake! Come on, Jake!
For all who's watching.
I knew you'd like that surprise. Look at that O face. Maybe we're going to see if the connection's going to work.
Coming. Is Stephanie with him?
Hey, yeah, they should do like a camera duo. 2-for-1 special. 2 peeps, 1 camera. Special. There he goes. Look at him.
Hey.
What you doing, big guy?
The beard. Look at that beard.
What up?
How's it been going?
I can't hear anybody.
We can hear you great.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Turn your volume up.
Or make sure you don't have any Bluetooth.
I'm gonna call BS on that because I can't hear anybody.
We can hear you. Yeah. He probably don't know though. If he can't hear us telling him, yeah.
Yep.
You want me to drop you and then bring you back?
How's that?
We can still hear you.
Can you hear us?
So what's good?
What's good, Jake?
I don't know. Lots of things are good. Life is good.
Are you off work
I
tonight?
feel like you should be a train conductor with the way that you appear right now.
Why?
Look at the hat, the glasses, and the beard. He looks like one of those old-time train conductors.
No.
All aboard!
You froze up, Jake.
Oh no.
Probably because you're moving through the house. It's the internet's like catching up or whatever.
Maybe. I'm all right now, I think. I turned my Wi-Fi off, so.
Okay. That's probably what it was. Are you in the basement or something?
Nah, man, I'm outside. I'm carrying in stuff from Walmart.
Well, damn, I feel bad. You ain't got to, like, carry this stuff while you're on live. I mean, it's pretty impressive.
I'm a multitasker, bro.
I know.
That's what
Bad
happens whenever
motherfucker.
you younger kids and some kids involved at any point in time in your life. You learn how to multitask. Got to learn how to carry 20 bags in one hand while you carry a child in the other.
That's how we roll. Yeah, well, since you're on the subject, don't get me started. I guess now it's time for Denny to tell you that.
Okay, let's hear the bad news. What's up?
There's no bad news, bro.
Okay, great.
I've decided
just don't get him started.
I'm gonna start a Facebook page for it, and I think most of my rant type stuff is gonna go on there. There's a lot of people who are pretty mad at me for always posting on my personal page. So, and
well,
not necessarily all for them, but it's a situation where there are people that I like and respect, and if they don't want to see it all the time, and I'm going to turn it into something anyway, it's going to be a platform anyways. It might be time just to
respect the difference of opinion and privately do it, but publicly.
Basically, yeah.
In the scene every day.
People want to see.
Can I tell you something? Two things, basically. Man, I wouldn't go make a second Facebook page.
No.
Facebook is such an open forum that it's not going to matter. I mean, yes and no.
I'm saying it would be like a public figure type page.
Okay. Well, that's fine. Yeah, well, I say Facebook's the wrong platform simply because it's such a dumpster fire to begin with. You're just adding to the pile of shit that's already there aflame. And if it's a Facebook issue, it's a fucking personal opinion. Like, oh, hey, do you guys want to be a part of this? That makes it exclusive. Now, we know these pages require maintenance. They require mods. They require, for instance, Dickhead made a page, it fucking tanked and burned, and then we tried to pick up and make another one, and then it just turned into babysitting another separate page that just kind of lost steam because the person behind it wasn't really giving a shit that there was a page, like a fan page. So I think you should make a channel, and then if it gets out of hand, then make a separate avenue for it, like a Facebook page or something. Because you can be on your own Facebook and say what you want, and you're going to get the same results.
Right. I fully intend to start a channel on YouTube. That's going to happen. It's just there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of rants that I post that are all written that probably will get more traction on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm about done with Facebook. I don't fucking care. It's so... Ugh.
It would be sort of the social media extension of the YouTube channel, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, make sure you tie in the channel name and the Facebook page all together. So if I Google something, either or, it's going to pull up. Either or. I feel
Right.
like.
Well, hashtag don't.
I know. I've been seeing a lot of stuff on your Facebook. You've been getting really open minded with that. How has that affected your personal life on Facebook? Have you lost some friends, made some friends, or is it looking like Jake being a good old asshole?
I think probably I'm losing more than gaining. Certainly, this is just one of those circumstances where people can love you, hate you, or feel no way about you. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to get used to because like my beliefs nowadays are considered to be fairly controversial, which is weird because 20, 30 years ago they were just sort of mainstream ideas, but now I don't know. There's a lot of reasons that people might think that I'm a hateful person or whatever, but I find that I'm actually approached with more hate by the people accusing me of hating than I ever put out there. So I don't know.
I
It's
believe
kind of
that.
weird. I have people that are seeking me out and seeking out my posts intentionally to just shit talk and try to cause fights.
Just to throw some shade.
And
Well, I don't think it's. I really the idea of don't get me started is fucking brilliant. Straight up, it's the whole. I think it's the stuff that pisses people off is the content matter, and I feel like it's an uphill battle that's never going to end when it comes to people's thought views on Facebook. How do you feel when you make a statement or a remark that caps off another statement from somebody else that's not on the same side of the field as you? Do you feel like you're fighting an uphill battle that's not going to turn out like, I don't know?
Here's my thing. Most of the people that come on to my posts and argue with me, I know I'm never going to change their mind about anything.
Yeah,
I try to approach it with the least amount of vitriol and anger as possible. Like I try to be as level-headed as I can.
Yeah, it's good.
Generally, you don't win anybody over to your way of thinking by telling them I'm trying to help you, motherfucker.
Yes, that's true.
So
yeah, not usually.
Usually,
I am that kind of guy.
Usually, my mic drop moments, the things that I'm saying and responding to, generally are just they're there for the other people that come along later on and read the comments and maybe are willing to have their mind changed or at least have an open mind to hear my point of view. So the person I'm arguing with, I'm not really arguing with them. I'm arguing for other people. If that makes sense.
Yes, I get that.
You're arguing for a belief.
I am totally behind your whole thing. I was behind the whole thing before you even got started on this whole thing.
Yeah.
So that's like, it's very far and few in between that you're going to have people that they slide past that post and go, oh shit, I agree with Jake because I'm on that side of the fence. So,
right.
We do have a handful of friends that don't necessarily agree with our beliefs and thoughts on the matter. And I hate that so much because we can agree on a lot, but there will be that one little fucking thing that is the fucking wedge between totality. I hate that so much. Why does politics got to be so greasy?
I don't know. I mean, I've come to a point now when people show up on my posts and are saying are willing to have a conversation with me even if they don't agree with me. I try to reinforce that behavior, and I know it's going to sound weird to say it, but it's kind of like a parent talking to their child. When you see the type of behavior that you want to see, you encourage that by them and encouraging them to continue to do that. So when someone is nice and they come on and they'll just have a conversation, they can disagree with me all they want. I'm fine with that. When they have a good attitude about it and they respect that I have my own opinion and that we may not change each other's opinion at all, but they want to get their point across, then I'll thank them for a good civil conversation. I enjoy those conversations. And those are those philosophical conversations that kind of got us, we could become a society in the first place. The problem is we've all sort of everybody thinks they've cemented their beliefs, and so everybody believes, oh, I'm a Democrat, oh, I'm a Republican, or nowadays you got your socialists, which is disgusting. But
Yeah.
It's
they don't
disgusting.
want
I
to
can't
talk
stand
to
socialism.
anybody else. They believe that if you believe anything else, you're just wrong. And the biggest problem is that they're not just believing that you're wrong. They believe you're evil. And
Yeah.
I don't believe any of those people are necessarily evil. I just believe they're wrong. I believe that they have the wrong idea. And so it's hard to reach people who believe that you're evil coming into the argument because you believe something they don't believe. So it's hard to win any arguments that way. We just can't
Ignorance
have
is a
crazy
dangerous thing.
Yeah, well, it's going to lead us to hell if we're not careful. I got an argument, a sort of argument with a cousin of mine just today on Facebook because she was all upset about President Trump taking the limo around the track at the Daytona. He's trying to make it all about him, and he's going votes, and it's like they asked him to be there. It's not like he called him up and was like, okay, here's the deal. I'm going to take the plane and we're going to fly over the track. You're going to love it. It's going to be huge. It's going to be great.
Damn.
We're going to bring out the limo. The limo's going to go around the track. We're going to go all the way around. It's going to be great.
It's going to be really great.
Okay.
I called him up and said, hey, would you be the Grandmaster? Or what's
And that was for them.
I think it's Grandmaster. I can't remember what the name of it is, but he's the guy that kicks it off. Grand Marshal, yeah, who kicks off the whole season. Like,
Did he mean Grand Wizard Hayes?
No Grand Wizard. Although there are people who like.
Did he mean Grand Wizard Hayes?
Grandmaster.
He's like, quit playing Creek, quit playing. No, sorry, Hayes. I had y'all muted because I was getting feedback from you guys' phone. I don't want you to feel like I was like, fuck you guys and cut you off, but I was just
on the side, guys. Don't let them lie to you.
No, it's not like that. No, okay. Straight up your thoughts. What's going to happen 2020? Is Trump going to win? What do you think?
Yeah.
Like, is Bernie going to kick his ass or what?
Trump's definitely going back in.
I'm not voting again.
Why?
Because they didn't need my vote the first fucking time 4 years ago.
But no, they
He
do.
won in such a landslide, my vote wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, well, you say that, but the fact of the matter is you've got more and more states now that are trying to give away their electoral college votes to the popular vote. So your vote counts more right now than it ever has. Even if your agrees with you. I mean, Nebraska always goes Republican, but I make sure that I vote anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, down here it always goes Republican too.
Here's the thing.
Do you think our Trump votes are going to matter more this time around than they did the first?
Yeah,
probably.
I mean, shit, he just beat this fucking appeal on his hands. Okay, like that makes him a harder target, right? Like he beat that impeachment.
He did. I think the popular vote's going to matter more this time than it did last time, and for two reasons. One, Democrats always want to argue when a Republican becomes president. They always want to say it's illegitimate because 2 out of the last 3 elections of a Republican president, the Republican president did not win the popular vote, but they won the electoral vote. So they want to try and say, well, it's the problem of the electoral college. So what's going to matter this time around is people who know that their state's going to go red or blue or whatever color. It doesn't really matter. They need to get out and vote because they're going to look at that again. And I promise you, just like Reagan did in his second term, he won 49 out of 50 states. It's the only time it's ever been done. Trump got more votes as an incumbent in the New Hampshire primary than any incumbent.
But he got all Republican states guaranteed.
He has, yes.
Hands fucking down. It wasn't even like a tie up.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. And, but here's the thing is, you're going to want that because in order to really show the media and the Democrats themselves the direction that the country really wants to go in, we need that popular vote to show up. We need people to show up and vote so that maybe we can start to convince these Democrats who are just moving further and further and further to the left because think that's what people want. We need to show them that a majority of the people in this country do not want to go that direction. Even if it just means bringing them back to their
Yeah.
used to be left-hand side. Like, I would be okay with moderate Democrats. We don't have any. So I think what you're going to end up with is I think you're going to have Bernie Sanders against Donald Trump, unless, of course, this becomes a contested Democratic convention, in which
What
case
happened to
anybody.
Yang? He dropped out and said we're gonna stop
Yang
funding.
is so far down at the bottom of the list, it's not even funny.
He didn't
Bernie
win a single
surpassed him.
delegate. He didn't win a single delegate, as far as I know, or maybe he won one. And it's not feasible for him at this point in time. And I
People
don't
are
think
smart.
Yeah,
No, hey,
he's not gonna dump money into a dying
somewhere.
fucking sinking ship. Probably.
you
People
don't
know.
He's gonna be the Bernie of last 4 years ago, probably.
Well,
Or he would have went that
Bernie
route,
4
huh?
years ago actually got cheated. I'm not
Yeah.
a Bernie fan at all. I'm not.
He stepped back so Hillary could fucking take up plate, right?
Well, there's a lot of evidence out there that Hillary and the DNC actually collaborated to push Bernie out. They're not going to get away with it.
Probably.
Um,
And if he's playing fucking games with him, he ain't gonna say shit.
Well, no, but the problem is that even the Democrat Party, for the most part, at least the Democrats that are in power, do not want Bernie Sanders to be the nominee. So what right now, probably you've got Biden and all these other candidates who are staying in, knowing that they're probably not going to win enough delegates to get the nomination.
Who's the woman from Hawaii?
If nobody gets enough delegates for the nomination, then the DNC actually chooses who the nominee is going to be, which means they could cut Bernie out again and go with somebody like Pete Buttigieg. But I think probably what will happen is more than likely they will try to pull someone like Michelle Obama or Hillary Clinton back in for another go round. But I don't think at this point that anybody you put up against Donald Trump is going to win. Donald Trump's approval rating is higher than it's ever been in his presidency. More people now.
Well, look at what he's done to the country. I don't agree with necessarily his everything. I don't necessarily agree with the way that he speaks. Is supposed to be quote unquote, a professional politician. But he's not a politician. He's a businessman. He's doing right for our economy and for our people.
Kurt Cobain predicted this shit.
To get our country back up and to get us back up and running to where we need to be to stay above poverty.
Well, Donald Trump understands something that most of our presidents haven't understood for a really long time. And maybe for good reason, because it wasn't this way for a long time, but the world has become more like a business setting. We need to run our country more as if it were a business in order to compete on a world scale. And Donald Trump's just the guy to do it. Now, people want to say, oh, he's had bankruptcies and he's had failed businesses. And it's like, yeah, out of the hundreds of businesses that he's owned, like a handful of them have had bankruptcy. You know how many businesses are successful? It's like 1 out of 20. Like the man has, and I think it's actually less than that even. It's some ridiculously low percentage. And the man has been successful more times than he's failed. People want to say, oh, well, his dad gave him a bunch of money. His dad gave him $1 million. When you compare that to the billions that he made out of that $1 million, I'm sorry. People want to try and act like he's an idiot. I don't think he's an idiot. I think he's more of a common man than most presidents are. And I'm okay with that. I don't like being, people thinking that the president's got to be some like highfalutin, perfect person. 20 years from now, nobody will be able to run for president because everything we ever did is on social media and they'll be able to cancel everybody. The only person who's going to be able to be president is a person who never touched social media, which means they're probably being raised by some Democrat in an attic somewhere and being brainwashed to be the Manchurian candidate. I mean, it's ridiculous. AOC, exactly, yeah. So yeah. I think that I don't think there's any way that Trump loses unless Trump gets in his own way, which he very well could. Unfortunately, the man does have a tendency to shoot off at the mouth when he should just be quiet. If he was smart, he would run his campaign exactly like he did the State of the Union address. If you guys watched that, it was fantastic. It was very well written. It was
very well good.
He wanted to make. All he did was just point to all the accomplishments that we've had, and his campaign should be pointing to the accomplishments we've had, and it should be pointing to the Democrat Party moving towards the Socialism Party. And
because they are.
and that'll be enough to get him reelected. If he can do those two things and just stop blasting off at the mouth on Twitter, stop calling people names and stuff like that. I know there are people that like it, but right now what he needs is more of those moderate Republican types or the independents that aren't quite decided. He needs those people to step up and vote for him. And if he can just handle himself the way he did in the State of the Union address up till November, those people will be happy to vote for him. So I think he wins. I think he wins 35 out of 50 states. I think he probably wins closer to 40, to be honest.
So you think he's going to get this, right?
Yeah, I think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna be close this time. I think it's gonna be a landslide. If they actually
should I go vote?
Bernie, yes.
Okay, fine. You got me sold. I'm doing it.
If they
you got to twist my arm, brother.
If they end up nominating Bernie, he pulls a Reagan and he wins 49 states. Easy.
I gotta tell you, man, I have a cousin. I'm not gonna say which side of the family, but I've got a cousin. Okay. And this specific cousin is definitely Democrat. We get in some heated discussions sometimes. But I told this cousin a while back, I was like, this was back like around 9/11 before or right around.
And see, it shouldn't be like that, but they make it like that. The Democrats are like, I'm sorry to cut you off like that, but I'm just trying to prove a point. The Democrats are like this. We don't like Trump. We're going to impeach him. Okay, your plan didn't work. It backfired on you. Now what? See what I'm saying?
Well, like I told him back in the day, I'm like, the way that it's leaning, a lot of, there's a lot of politicians leaning towards communism, socialism. He's like, that's never going to happen. The people won't allow it. You're right. You are now a Democrat when you fight for Democrats. But what you don't see, I guess, because you're so blinded by your closed-minded opinion on democracy, that you don't see that your party that you're rooting for is absolutely going towards communism, socialism. But you are right in the fact that, the American people will never allow socialism if we remain American.
Well, I mean, we spent decades fighting socialism, and now we're just going to welcome it in. I mean,
really
well said, Jake. Bravo.
That wanted to control everything. A socialist, leaning towards communist country, England, back in the day by the tyrant. What was it, George or something, like King George?
No, that would have been if George didn't create the Free States.
No, King George, not President George.
Well, I don't know if you guys are familiar with any. What's the name of that video game? But anyway, it was like, what if George Washington, instead of making us a free country, he became the new king of our fucking country? It was called.
Well, it was the king of England at the time, and I think his name was George. And he was such a tyrant that people wanted to separate from England.
We could have very well been a second like England.
Yeah.
Obviously, things aren't good enough over there that people are still leaving Britain. They're still leaving England. The Brexit.
You talking about Brexit? Yeah.
Well, the Brexit thing is actually really good. And historically speaking, the direction that England goes, America sort of has a tendency to mirror. And this step of theirs to move away from the socialist European Union is a huge indicator that we're probably looking at I believe we're looking at 4 more years of Trump. But I think that's going to cascade even further. And I'm going to make a prediction now, and it's 4 years early. But I promise you, Ted Cruz gets the Republican nomination in 2024.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He has started his own podcast called Verdict, which is really actually very good. It's the second.
I'll have to check it out.
Most popular podcast in America right now. He actually had the #1 spot for a week until Joe Rogan took it back. But he's only second to Joe Rogan at this point. And what he's doing is he is explaining politics and that whole process to Americans, everyday Americans, to help them understand what's going on. And he's endearing himself to the general public by becoming more like Trump was, a president who reaches out directly to the people. And that's what Ted Cruz, I think, is setting up. And I'm really liking a lot of the stuff I'm hearing from him. And I think we probably will see a very strong run from him in 2024. If he gets the nomination, he probably win, unless the Democrats come up with somebody really good in the next 4 years. But from what I'm seeing right now, it's looking pretty good for Republicans for a while.
Man.
An interesting point. She said the reason George Washington, one of the reasons, excuse me, that George Washington was for president is because he wasn't able to have children, and so he wouldn't have been able to set up an heir to the presidency, if you will. So
Sounds
that
about
was
right.
one of the reasons, and he didn't even want the job. Like he actually was pretty adamant about not taking the job, but everybody wanted him.
Didn't he want to like be involved in like the war itself, like as far as being like a leader in the army and stuff like that?
Yeah, he was a general. He was actually
absolutely
lines fighting the war. I mean, he was part of that. So,
Yep.
We got HAZE over here just chilling, being quiet. I'd like to hear his take on this whole thing if he's got one.
He don't vote.
Well,
he don't give a flying fuck about your government.
What say you?
Hey, so I keep my bullshit away from that bullshit.
All right. Well,
what you think, HAZE?
Being put in a video game, and they were calling him a tyrant. That is true.
Yeah, his name was King George.
Huh?
Yeah, it was Assassin's Creed. Now that I think about it, it was a package you buy. It was a what if scenario. What if George Washington took over America and made it his own fucking country, like how we ran from England or whatever? And he was referred to as King George, the tyrant.
Right. I think it was called George the Terrible or some shit like that.
Well, it was like when we came from England, we were going to be an extension. We were going to send money back, send supplies, let them come over, let them just expand. But for some reason, when they got over here, I guess they fought so hard to stay alive that they looked at it like, well, we don't have to go back and check in with them and
what happened?
Let them come over here and try it. Let's let them try it. I don't know. I'm not clear on the story.
They came over here. They were working for England, and they were sending stuff back. England kept taxing them. And
that's what it was.
So much that they eventually started getting tired of it, and they started rebelling little by little by little. And then eventually the Boston Tea Party happened. They taxed the tea so bad. They were like, well, we're not paying this. This is ridiculous. We're working for you. This is our land. So they threw all of England's tea in the harbor. Eventually they had enough, and they went to war with England and said, we're not going to stand by your taxation, your over-taxation. We're hundreds of thousands of miles away overseas.
When we all came over here on the Mayflower and all that good shit, a lot of people died. They struggled for the winter. They struggled setting up settlements. A lot of people died based on survival, lack of supplies. It was a big ordeal. I think people had to fight to survive first and foremost.
Well, this was a new terrain, a new environment, different weather patterns, different cultures. You had the Native Americans. You had so many different types of Native Americans.
Very good, Jade.
They had civilizations.
We've got 0 viewers, but you can kiss my ass, YouTube. This is all good. Y'all need to hear this shit.
That were, you had the civilized tribes and you had the uncivilized tribes when they called the savages. Savages were the ones that didn't have manners. They were just all about killing. Then you had the other people that were the civilized tribes, where they tried to help the settlers coming in, to help them survive the winters, to help them survive and teach them how to live off of the land that they were coming to.
Taught them their language.
And then why did they brutally murder them? Do what?
Well, that's that whole thing. That's a whole other show, certainly. But good on you for knowing your history, Jaded. That's good.
I love history.
I always liked history too.
Fact about me.
I think the early settlers were probably the most American of the Americans. So we beat off the British with like pitchforks and old muskets and. Granted, they had to travel a long way to get here, but I'll tell you what, that's that indomitable spirit that everybody talks about when it comes to Americans, and that's the reason that we are a free country today. And people have just forgotten that we've been so spoiled. We've had such good easy times that we've all turned soft. We haven't had a world war in a long time. You know, we've reached a point in the country where, you know, you're not forced into military service, which I don't think you should be. But I also feel like we need to put more emphasis on our own history and put it in an actual positive light and give these kids something to be proud of. Because the fact of the matter is, these kids are being taught in school not to love their country anymore. They're not saying the pledge.
Yeah.
They don't know the words to our national anthem. They don't know our own history. And so they're being taught that we live in a country that was founded on slavery and racism and white power.
Yeah. See, they don't show you all the shit.
You know, and people can say what they want about slavery.
Sorry.
One thing is, well, when was America great? Well, America's been great. It's been great
Yes.
pretty much since its inception. We did some not good things, certainly. You know, there are a lot of things that we did that we shouldn't be proud of, but that doesn't mean that we should feel shame for them either. Like, I didn't own any people. I didn't kill anybody. I didn't force anybody off their land. I didn't do any of those things. I have no control.
I would never do anything like that.
I wouldn't. You're right. I mean, that's why Atomic White Boy hits me so hard. And I know, Tree, you're not a big fan of his or whatever, but what he says is true. I cannot feel guilty for shit that I didn't do. I didn't do it.
Right.
So why should I feel guilty about it? I don't. I don't have white pride, but I don't have white guilt either.
I love that song, Politically Incorrect.
But you know, here's another thing. That motherfucker's not an American. He's from Canada. So he's able to say what he wants to fucking say and not catch no lashback.
Well, yeah, but he loves America more than most Americans do these days.
Don't they all? It's the greatest fucking place.
It really is.
Him and Mad Child, and you know, good on Mad Child for getting himself clean, man. I'm really
so far.
Well, it's been almost 3 years that he's been clean now, so I think that's a pretty good start. And
yeah, better late than never.
You know what I mean? You know, I don't know. Would you say to an alcoholic who hasn't had a drink in 2 or 3 years, like, hey, you know, yeah, you're sober so far? Like, you wouldn't do that. Like, if a person's got that much time under the belt, you tell them congratulations.
Yeah.
So,
when you talk about those kind of drugs Mad Child was on, nobody forced his arm and behind his back and said, you're going to do this fucking shit. The drugs that he was on physically made you dependent, where if you just did not want them, you were going to get sick.
Yeah, definitely.
We're all given that option to be or do whatever we want in this world. So I'm not going to pat him on the back for doing something that everybody else just fucking has the option to not partake in.
Well, I can tell you right now that when you get clean and you're clean and sober, and your first year goes by, and you know for a fact that you are never going to put your hands on that again. Even the first 6 months, I mean, you got to give somebody credit for that, because that stuff doesn't happen overnight. It is not an easy thing.
Yes and no. But here's the issue. When you go to these recovery camps or wherever you go, they are always wanting to tell you, I didn't quit doing drugs. You're going to walk this earth having to openly admit you're an alcoholic, you're a drug user, you're a drug addict. Even though you haven't had a chemical in your body in over a year or 2 or 3, time to pat you on your ass for being a big boy and not fucking doing the fucked up thing.
We choose
that's why I said there's a better late than never coin, okay? Kudos to the people that kick drugs and stay off of it, but a lot of them are not success stories. That shit is very serious. I've never done anything serious that bad to understand, but I've heard enough stories on the internet to understand that, yeah, go ahead and do heroin for at least 2 days in a row. You're going to be so physically dependent on it, you're going to need it just to get through your day without being fucking sick. You made that choice to do that, so now you've got to deal with the repercussions. We grew up in this beautiful country where they warned us all our lives from kindergarten to now, just say no to drugs. What's the first thing we did? We tried a cigarette. Okay, we'll let that slide. What's the second thing? We smoked a little joint. Okay, we'll let that slide. We hit a little bit of cocaine. All right, now we're cascading into deep water. If a motherfucker gets spun out on heroin, it's like I've lost. I don't want to say a friend, but he was an acquaintance of someone. I guess you can call him a friend. I mean, I didn't really kick it with him a whole lot, but we kind of grew up together somewhat in school. But I was friends with family. He's dead now. I just found out like 2 or 3 months ago. He's been dead for over like a year. He was doing heroin. When you're doing heroin, you're taking a gamble. This may or may not be your last dose or your last high. So you're making that conscious decision on personal like preference versus your life. You're
Well,
gambling. You're
sometimes
rolling them
first time
fucking
is the
dice.
only time.
And the thing with heroin is
Yeah.
so complicated. You have to damn near OD just to get high every time, or it's not going to work, or else you're going to be sick day in day out. Just you got to keep it in your body
Well, that's
to
not
get what they
entirely
call
true.
well.
Enough to OD, not to be sick.
You
But
can't just bang heroin for a week and go, "Oh, we'll take a month off." No, motherfucker, you done stepped to
well,
that
most people
door.
don't start
You've got
off
to deal
banging
with
it.
it.
Most people start off doing it another way, and then they resort to banging it later on in life because
Look,
they.
it don't matter how you get it in you, because the motherfuckers in prison, the majority of them, they snort it. They'll mix it with a little bit of water. I've heard a lot of fucking stories.
I knew people that would snort the stuff dry. They didn't care at all.
Okay, there it goes to show you, if you want it in you bad enough, you will do whatever it takes. That's junkyism.
Absolutely.
I do not respect people that have to be on drugs day and night just to fucking get to their day. If you need like a chemical, like pills for mood or something, that's different. You probably need it. But I'm not gonna fucking sit there and like.
Does that include marijuana, or are you just talking about the harder drugs?
Yeah, even weed. Weed has gotten to me to where it's like, if you got to stay stoned day and night, that's not really respectable to me.
Yeah.
If you can't wake up sober, handle your business.
Live their life that way. I don't think that you get physically dependent on marijuana. I think you get emotionally maybe dependent on it.
I think it's an emotional dependency, and it's fucking trashy. I don't think you should walk around stoned during business hours, during daylight, when you can save that shit for when you get off work, go home, and you're in the privacy of your own fucking home. Treat
What
it
about
like
the
a
places
tool.
where medical has been legalized and medical is they're chosen?
Like patients that need it, that don't want to take pharmaceuticals. I respect that fully, because that's probably a healthier route. If a motherfucker's got cancer or leukemia, and it's probably a better route and more affordable, more power to you. But these people that are youngins, we're not 16 no more. That's what I'm getting at. You shouldn't walk around stoned all day. And I'm one to talk. I used to fucking. I had a dealer that lived next door eventually. I was able to trade shit to get weed. I would trade my shit to get weed like it was fucking crack. It was ridiculous. And I was so like, I look back at myself and I'm like, God.
So we're not talking about the medically related users, like the ones that use for like anxiety and PTSD and.
No, they're excluded from this. That's a medical excuse. I'm talking about people that have to stay fucked up to where their eyes are glazed over red. We've got a job to do, and you're driving a car, you're carrying peripherals, you stink like weed. For instance, this has happened to me 100 times in the last 3 years. I was driving my car. I was in the middle of door dashing last week. Somebody in the car ahead of me, it was snowing outside, okay? The weather was so bad, it was snowing. They were smoking some weed that was so dank that it came through my grill, and I swear they were like 30, 20-foot gap between my vehicle and theirs. The weed smell came out of their car into my motor, like the grill, and you could smell it in my car for at least 5 minutes. It was like a pleasant, like, ha, ha, ha. But then again, I was like, this is pathetic. Like, if I was to get pulled over right here, right now, the cop's going to give me third degree thinking I'm in here smoking. That's how potent the weed's gotten. Too.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But, I mean,
why are we in such a society where you have to be stoned or fucked up to drive a vehicle or have it in your possession? I just think it should be treated more respectably, like...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you keep it at home. You do it at home.
Oh yeah. I mean, my whole thing has always been that I don't really care what you do on your own time at home. That's nobody's business. That's your business. Even if you want to bang black tar heroin at home and you can still manage to live a normal life, I think that's your option.
You trying to tell us something, Jack?
I mean,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Do we need some intervention here?
No, what I'm saying is that I feel like I'm very libertarian in my views. I believe a person's life is theirs, and if they want to ruin their own life, they should have the right to do so. Now, I don't think that those drugs should necessarily be legal because they tend to lead people into illegal activity, which then turns around and infringes on someone else's liberty or life. So I don't want them to be legal, but if a person can do that and still live a functional life and that's what they want to do, I don't see a reason that the government should find a way to punish them for that. Now, again, if it's leading them into bad behavior and they're doing illegal things as a result of that, then they should definitely face the
Well, what about the
consequences.
people that do it and they don't get caught, so you don't know that they're doing it?
That's exactly my. Well, oh, you mean like if they're doing illegal activity and they're not getting caught? Well,
Right.
there are
I
people
think they're
that
being pretty responsible at that point.
don't get caught.
I'm just saying.
I had friends growing up that anytime that we would go to our local, store, they'd walk out with something they didn't pay for. Now that was never me, but that was behavior that they did that they didn't get caught for and they didn't face any consequences for. At least
5-finger discounts are not okay, folks. Okay.
Yeah, we're not condoning that shit on this show.
Not at all.
I have taken my kids back into stores before, not because they've taken something out, but because something got missed when we were getting our stuff rung up. So I will take them in the store and have them, show them that this is the right.
It shows good integrity and it teaches the child to be honest.
Absolutely.
You want people like that in society.
Integrity, man. The whole definition of integrity is doing the right thing when no one is looking.
Exactly. Thank you, Jade.
Yeah. Well, what's right is right even when no one's doing it. What's wrong is wrong even when everyone's doing it.
So much shit flies under the radar. It's unbelievable. Like you wouldn't even
Mom
know.
used to say what is easy isn't always right, and what's right isn't always easy, and it is the truth.
Yeah.
Well,
Quite the philosopher tonight, Jade.
Going when he's old, he will not depart from it.
Yeah.
That was how I was raised. That's how I'm raising my kids, and
sometimes
can't go wrong.
You gotta make hard decisions, and the hard decisions are not always the ones you want to make.
Yeah.
No, but that's what separates the boys from the men. No offense to the women. I mean that.
And the girls.
Jake, no, this is not that kind of a fucking stream.
It does.
We ain't gonna pull no sexist bullshit.
Real women. It separates the boys from the men. It separates the women from the fucking little girls. The women know that you have to make tough decisions, and sometimes that means that it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be the right thing to do.
Yep. Well, and here's something, guys. When was the last time you saw a YouTube video where people spent this much time talking about morals,
be right back, guys,
doing the right thing, what the right thing to do is? Like you don't see that anymore. It's all about clickbait. It's all about what's going to get people's attention. It's all about being loud and in your face and obnoxious and whatever to get people's attention. But we're not teaching these kids or even the adults at this point anything valuable. And so we need more of these types of conversations. That's like my biggest point is we need more conversations talking about just sort of these ideas of what's right, what's wrong, and the way that we should all be interacting with each other.
Right. No, I mean, like, you have to teach your kid right from wrong. You have to teach your children how to do the right thing and how to live with integrity, so that way whenever they're left out into the world on their own, they know how to do the right thing, how to go about it. That gives them the wisdom to make the decisions that they need to make without feeling bad for making those decisions, because they've been taught that it's okay as long as it's doing what's right. I teach my kids, man, my 3-year-old, 5-year-old, man, I will, even though it's not the right thing to do, and they'll try to lie about stuff, I'm like, look, we don't lie. You're going to get in more trouble if you lie about something and get caught later than if you just tell the truth and own up to it, and then we can fix it.
Yep. And you might be in a little bit of trouble for whatever the truth is, but you're going to be in a lot more trouble if you lie to me.
Oh, absolutely, because I don't like liars. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. Yeah. Don't lie to me. I don't lie. I don't expect you to lie. Like, I'm going to be 100% honest with you, even if it hurts your feelings.
Yeah. Sometimes it does. The problem is that we live in a society now where people are basically being told whatever it is that they want to hear, and they're being told that they're a winner.
Yes, let's not offend anybody. God forbid somebody not like that you have an opinion of your own.
Well, no one's teaching these kids that there are downsides to life too. And that's where we're really starting to get screwed up, because we're giving
Yeah.
people participation trophies for showing up. And
You can't always get your way.
kids need to understand that sometimes you lose. You tend to learn more from your losses than you do from your wins.
Yeah.
You know, and that teaches you to have a more drive and to be more competitive and to do better, and it makes you want to strive for more because you see other people winning or doing well for themselves, and that's a driving force, you know. I had to hit a
Well,
pretty low point in my life
pain is harder than anything else. You know, pain leaves an impact, and if it's mentally anguishing for somebody, they're going to remember, hey, this felt this way, let's not do that. And physical pain sends off a reaction just like emotional pain does, and the sensors and stuff like that. And it's going to leave an impact, and they're going to go, hey, I remember this. I remember how it felt.
Yeah.
Don't do this. Just you touch something hot, you're going to remember, hey, let's be careful, not touch something that's hot.
Pain is a good teacher. That's true. We're bubble wrapping, and we're baby proofing everything in this world, including their emotions, and that's dangerous, because now these kids insist on not even hearing opinions that differ from their own because it hurts them in some way. And
what I tell my kids is, look, it's okay to feel this way. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad, but you need to express yourself in words, not with physical violence, not with physical emotions. You need to express yourself verbally.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes just to keep
so you can get your way. Like, you got to stop. Like, I taught my son the other day, he was missing one of his little cowboy and Indian parts, and he was out here looking. He started crying and freaking out because he couldn't find it. I said, hold on. I said, you need to stop and breathe. I said, you can't see anything when you're emotional and crying. I said, you can't focus. You're so emotional. Your eyes are all watery. You can't stop and look. I said, so you have to breathe, and you have to look, and you have to go, hey, this is what I have around me. How can I use this? What can I do to find this? And I started showing him and teaching him how to breathe, stop, look around, take his time. And that's important whenever it comes to teaching your kids lessons, and it teaches them real life, hey, something went south, but how can I work around this to make this benefit me?
Yeah. We got a lot of people that are failing at life right now, and unfortunately that sort of is our own fault, and I mean that as a society, because we've coddled people, we've made soft people. There's an old saying that hard times make hard men, and hard men make good times, and good times make soft men, and soft men make soft times make soft people, and we're sort of in the soft people portion of that right now, but it is turning.
Yeah, well, there's enough of us that are having kids now that understand why our parents did what they did, made decisions they made, like grandparents made decisions. And we are taking that along with the knowledge that we now have on stuff, and we're combining it. Like, my generation, I'm considered a millennial, but I don't consider myself a millennial. Same. I am in between the millennial, and I'm in between Generation X.
I consider myself a Gen Xer. To be honest with you, when I was growing up, that's what we called ourselves. We were Gen X. So I don't know.
Well, I'm not quite Gen X. I'm just a few years shy of that,
Yeah, well, I was born in '81, so I mean, I
was '86.
But 83. My parents were also early boomers. Like my dad was born in '52, my mom was born in '55, so they still have a lot of that old school.
My mom was born in '60, so.
Yeah, she was more of that hippy dippy, probably.
Yeah, she's definitely a hippie type. My dad was born in 48 or 49, something like that. So he was a little older.
Yeah. Well, that's probably a good thing too. But like I was raised differently than a lot of these kids were today, and I'm glad for that. And like Stephanie always says, we're not raising boys, we're raising men. So we're teaching them how to be men, not how to be boys. They kind of automatically know how to be boys.
Well, I came from a very strong German background, so I was definitely taught loyalty, respect, and how to be a woman.
That's a hate word now. You can't say woman anymore.
I wish somebody would try me on this.
What do you say, like she-male or something, or?
I think cisgender
I'm a
female.
woman.
Simon's being funny.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. Well, this is why Steph didn't get me started.
I am a true feminist. I believe in women's rights, but I also believe that a woman is supposed to be under the man when it comes to certain things, and that it's a respect thing more than anything. The man is the leader. He's supposed to be the provider. That's my opinion, though.
Yeah, separate but equal, and there are reasons for that, because if you want your man to act like a man, you kind of gotta treat him like a man. So, and that was
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah,
that's something that unfortunately we're losing these days. Is there's just not, and it doesn't mean that women have to be stay-at-home moms or take care of the house.
No.
I mean, in some cases that's true. That's how it works.
But honest to God, like, I feel like women should be naturally capable of taking care of a house. It should come instinctually.
Well, yeah, that's
Partially how you're raised, but also it should be instinctually, hey, I don't want to live in a place that's beat up, about to be shut down, where the roof is caving in, you know? Like, I want to try to keep up as much as I can.
Right. Well, you know, it's something else when you, like, Steph and I have a very traditional marriage. I work, I make the money, she handles the home front. Like, she takes care of the kids, she takes care of the house, she raises up the boys, teaches them how to do household chores and to take care of themselves, and and you know, she does the housework, and she does food and stuff. She actually handles the money. Like, there's a lot of times people think, oh yeah, you guys, you're the
no,
she's the
there's
stay-at-home,
always better at handling money in a relationship than the other person. I mean, let's just face it. You can have two people that are good with money. They're great with money, but one's going to be just slightly better at it. And I mean, you got to give it. You have to give the reins over to whoever's fucking better at it. Pardon my French.
Unless you are doing every single purchase and every bill together, one of you has got to be the primary on that. And given the number of hours that I work in a week, and given our schedules, it just makes more sense for Stephanie to do that, and she's fantastic at it. Yeah, brilliant. It's a good word for it. I think
in our case, we work together for the most part. When it comes to keeping track of things, he's definitely better. But when it comes to keeping track of amounts, I'm better.
Okay. Well, you know, and that's the collaborative effort. I mean, you work, he works. You guys are sharing those responsibilities. And if both people are working, that's probably the better way to go about it. When you have a situation like what Steph and I have, then it makes more sense for her to kind of just take the lead on those types of things, because I'll be honest with you, I don't see any of my bills. If I wanted to, I could, and I have access to all that stuff, but she takes care of it. I don't have a worry when it comes to that. She handles our finances well. You know, she makes sure that we have money going into savings. She makes sure that these kids have the clothes and the food and the resources that they need. And, you know, if I need to make a purchase, I know that I can make a purchase, but I'm always like, I'm calling her like,
communication.
Okay, right. I need to buy XYZ, or, you know, for regular.
And see, that's important to teach our kids too. Kids need to know how to communicate, because we're living in a world of technology where people are constantly in social media. They're constantly on electronic devices. You got a phone in your face 24/7. Whereas whenever we were kids, you had a cord that was attached to the wall, and you could only go so far with it.
Right. Yeah.
So you have to teach the kids how to communicate verbally, face to face, because a lot of kids aren't being really taught that until you get into college. And you have to take speech, unless you're in high school in some way or you're interested in it. You join the speech and debate team. You're not being taught speaking and being able to communicate face to face.
Yeah, well, it's funny. We're more connected now than we've ever been, and we've never been further apart from each other.
Right.
Yeah.
The emotional connection, the human-to-human contact, and the human-to-human emotional factors are being divided because of social media.
Absolutely. Well, shoot, guys, you guys were going to shut this thing down like an hour ago, and I just kind of came.
Yeah.
You got interesting conversations, but it was healthy. It was great.
Yeah, man. Glad to see you, man.
Yeah,
I was thinking
absolutely.
about shutting down here soon anyway because I got to be at work here in the next so
Yeah.
many hours. So
Yeah, I know the feeling. So, but no, good talk, you guys. We'll want to do it again soon.
I'm
Like I
excited
said,
to get your stuff up and running, man.
yeah, I know you guys have kind of got your
Watch.
thing going here, and I don't want to monopolize too much of you guys' time because we always end up on topics that you weren't talking about in the first.
No, this is great.
So,
Again, this is even though we're not exactly face to face, we kind of are. We're able to communicate and
yep.
connection through the world.
Blood isn't always family, and family isn't always blood.
Yeah.
So,
Agree.
Well, I appreciate you all stopping by.
Thanks, Steph, for the background comments. I love you, girl. I'm so glad that I have you on my friends list. I'm so glad I met y'all.
much love, guys. Don't get me started.
All right, brother. Y'all heard it.
Peace out.
Peace.